From Creamer Media in Johannesburg, this is the Real Economy Report. Our top stories this week. The Science of Soccer exhibition gets underway. We discuss the issue of South Africa merging with the BRIC countries. And we discover what should constitute the country's future generation capacity mix. The first and only Science of Soccer exhibition in the world has opened at Sci-Bono in Johannesburg. Christy van der Merwe gets in on the action.
As the country and the world count down to the kickoff of the Soccer World Cup spectacular, Sci-Bono is using soccer to popularize science, maths and technology education. The Science of Soccer exhibition consists of 11 robust interactive exhibits, which were custom built in South Africa by Diamond Engineering and Pert Industrial. The education program reveals the maths, science and technology behind the game of soccer. It allows learners to discover more about shapes and build a ball, to identify injuries and test their own health, as well as learn about the diet of a soccer player. Participants can also learn about the science behind dribbling, passing, kicking and scoring goals. They can test their own ability and learn how to improve their game using their knowledge of angles, gravity, wind direction, reflexes and speed. There is also an educational Lego exhibition, which is part of a competition that sees 43 schools in Gauteng build their own Lego stadium, showing off their skills in the hope of winning an attractive prize for their school. Through the exhibitions, Sci-Bono hopes to grow the pool of scientists, technologists and engineers that are desperately needed in South Africa. This is done by inspiring learners to choose science, maths and technology subjects and careers. The exhibition will be at Sci-Bono until January 2011. After that date, it will tour other venues across South Africa.
Oh, it looks fabulous. It's very nice for me.
The debate has been raised many times on if and why South Africa should merge with the world's biggest emerging economies, including Brazil, Russia, India and China, dubbed the BRIC countries. Loni Prinsloo takes a look.
Currently, the BRIC nations make up around 42% of the world's economy. Speaking at a Swiss chamber lunch, Old Mutual CEO Kuseni Dlamini said that even though South Africa did not share certain characteristics with the BRIC countries, the country still had a great deal to offer the emerging economies as an entity with great resources and potential.
I believe South Africa can add a lot of value to the BRIC group of countries. South Africa punches above its weight in terms of its role in global commercial affairs and also in global diplomatic affairs. We've got globally competitive companies that are leaders in their fields. There's no company in the world that's better than Sasol in terms of the technology that Sasol has got. There's no company in the world that's better than De Beers and Diamonds. I mean, Old Mutual is one of the top companies in the world in terms of its expertise in financial services. If we look at the diplomatic space, in the Copenhagen summit in December last year, South Africa played a very important role in brokering a settlement together with the United States. And President Zuma and President Obama worked hand in hand in terms of bringing the settlement about. I believe South Africa has got a lot to offer to the world, notwithstanding the fact that we've got a small population and our economic growth rate is not double digit.
But how will South Africa benefit from a merger with these BRIC nations?
As a country will benefit from investment inflows into South Africa by leveraging those relationships that we'll have with these big and growing emerging markets. We will also benefit from a trade perspective. We can be able to leverage those big markets. We're a commodity-intense country. We need markets for our commodities.
With South Africa expecting the second version of its integrated resource plan by the end of September, industry experts are raising their opinions of what exactly should constitute the country's future generation capacity mix. Loni Prinsloo has the story.
South Africa faces a future 40,000 megawatt shortfall of electricity, which will have to be created by 2025 if it's going to meet its energy requirements. Speaking at a nuclear forum in Pretoria, ex-Eskom CEO Ian McGray tells us why nuclear power should be included in the country's future energy mix.
Nuclear power is a must, at least the short, medium, and I would say even in the longer term. Whilst I and others have been on the same wavelength, we have until now not seen any further commitment in bringing on stream new plant. It is true that just over half of the past decade, 2 decades, we have experienced a surplus of power generation for our needs. But this may have contributed to some of the reasons for the lack of focus and commitment. But now we are in a totally different situation, where we are threatened by power cuts, by blackouts, low reserve capacity, and threats to our mines, industry, commerce, all hampering economic growth. There have been 1 or 2 peaks of anticipated hope when we saw the development of the pebble bed modular reactor taking place over the past years and the rise and fall of the possibilities of introducing these reactors into our system and even becoming a world supplier, but nothing concrete as yet.
And now for a sneak preview of this week's Engineering News magazine. In our cover story, we find out whether partnerships are the answer to South Africa's ailing public hospitals. We report that Eskom may lean on industry to ensure a stable World Cup electricity supply. And US soft drink giant Coca-Cola sets aside $30 million to help relieve African water stress. And in Mining Weekly this week, in this week's cover story, we highlight the mining industry's new global buzzword, greenification. We report that Goldfields could earn 200 million rand for flaring Beatrix Mine's deadly methane gas. And read how South African diamond miner Transhex has achieved a strong financial turnaround. That's Creamer Media's Real Economy Report. Join us again next week for more news and insight into South Africa's real economy.